Good morning and welcome to my first webinar. Attendees, for the listening pleasure of all today, we have muted the audience so we won't be disturbed by background noises. I have asked the universe for a clear channel and believe it shall be given as we gather together and receive the information pertinent to our individual reasons for being here today. While I am speaking over the telephone, your computer screen will show images and pictures that will enhance this webinar, and it is my hope it will make it more enjoyable and have deeper meaning for you. Today I will be talking to you about transitional empowerment coaching and how transitional empowerment can help us overcome our fears of the unknown and empower us over the course of our lives in all areas of transition. To begin this process, all we need is a spacious mind and open heart. From that place we develop the courage to see things as they really are, and we emerge deeper, wiser, and healthier. We all have stories about transitions, whether it is a failed relationship, career change, health issue, financial reevaluation, or the biggest one, death and dying. This is why I use storytelling in my model of coaching as a way to remember and reconnect to important times in my life, as well as to invoke others to remember theirs. Things to ponder while remembering our transitions are the ripple effects caused by these events and how we store them in our consciousness. Were these transitions positive, negative, traumatic, fearful, joyous, freeing? These are the things that we want to look at every time we make a choice around any transition we are faced with. A healthy transition not only transforms us individually, but everyone around us as well. So it is vital that we want the transition to be of value and substance. While I share with you my first profound experience around transitions, I am suggesting you remember your stories and the impact they had on your life. These memories and their impact goes to the heart of what we feel, think, and see. My most profound transition began with the untimely death of my mother when I was 16. She was only 35 years old when she was given the news that she had terminal cancer. My mother fought for her life and regrettably died without overcoming her fears of the unknown. These fears were passed on to me, and when I reached the same age my mother was when she was diagnosed with a terminal illness, I became so physically exhausted I couldn't get out of bed. The lower right-hand picture is a picture of me at 35 years old with my daughter Candace. It was the early 80s and I was living in Malibu, California, a single mother raising 2 young children, administering my own higher consciousness program for children ages 4 through 12, writing a children's book, going along, I thought, happy and fulfilled. Then unexpectedly one morning I woke up and was unable to do the simplest tasks, like preparing meals, driving the car. Even my morning ritual of gathering eggs from my chicken coop was impossible. In an attempt to regain my health, I tried acupuncture, Chinese herbs, homeopathy, and massage. I traveled from Malibu with my children to Esalen Institute in Big Sur. Esalen, for those of you who have never been there, is a center for alternative education and a forum for transformational practices. People come from all over the world to experience Gestalt therapy in their quest for self-healing. I prayed for answers to my sudden downward spiral. It was also a place where my children could experience hands-on the gazebo, Esalen's preschool. Upon my return to Malibu, I integrated many of the gazebo's philosophies and experiences into my own preschool, which I called Creative Expressions. I thought how different my own life would have been had I been given permission to be free to express myself when my mother was dying. While on one of my trips to Esalen, a friend suggested I contact Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, a well-known Jungian psychiatrist. Her directness and honesty paved the way for an overhaul in how dying patients were treated in this country. She believed we had to overcome our fears around this taboo subject so we could empower ourselves, and when faced with death and dying, we would face it with dignity and acceptance. Part of me resisted contacting her, but there was a bigger part of me that knew in order to heal myself, I had to see her. In 1981, she invited me to spend 5 days in a live-in workshop with her in a monastery in San Juan Bautista. This is where my passion as a transitionist began. When the subject of death and dying became less fearful for me, all other transitions I have been faced with over the years have become easier, and the outcome more joyous and peaceful as a result of my work on overcoming my fears around death and dying. For the next 10 years, Elizabeth and I corresponded, and she was and is the single most important person in my life who allowed me to grieve openly and to embrace the spirit world, where the healing of our souls is God's highest form of love for His children. This is what transitional empowerment means to me: the courage to change, to go deep within ourselves and follow the divine and awake the truth. Every transition, in order for it to empower us, starts with tremendous courage. People who share their challenges with me are very brave. They know something is wrong and they want to make it right. They are willing to go to their don't go places, places that once they are on earth sets the stage for looking at other places we have been afraid to go to. But once we open those doors of change, we look at our lives from different perspectives. Then we look at our choices, our timetable, and we start the planning process for the changes to go into effect. So, dear seekers, here are a few suggestions I have for you on your journey of transitional empowerment. Slow down. When making life changes, don't take on more responsibilities than you are capable of carrying out. Don't be afraid to say no when a friend or family member wants to do something and you want to stay home and be quiet. Focus on clarity of mind, inner peace, and a joyous heart. If you have extra time, then spend it in prayer, introspection, and meditation. Meditate regularly. Meditation is the highest state of peace of mind. Try and experience it. If you meditate earnestly for half an hour every day, you will tend to become calm during the remaining 23.5 hours. From emptiness comes a true connection with your feelings, and how you feel about yourself and your life must come before your thoughts. Once your thoughts are congruent with your feelings, then your true words which you speak will result in your true actions. You will become a whole person, finding meaning and peace within. Then and only then, will your true passions and purpose be revealed to you. No regrets. Do not waste time regretting choices you have made over the years. Days, weeks, months, and years may be wasted in that futile mental debating. Once you are clear you want change, then plan for it, and always remember God has His own plan as well. Value your time and do what you need to do for change to occur. Self-doubt, fear, and worry will lead to nothing. Learn from your mistakes, but do not brood over the past. Wake up every morning and say thank you as many times as possible. Gratitude is the key to healing negative thoughts. Gratitude allows us to stay in positive consciousness. Ask yourself powerful questions, such as, what do I truly want? What is my passion? What fills me up and makes me happy? Who is with me when I feel this way? Imagine yourself exactly where you want to be and with whom. Sometimes we have to remove ourselves from people, even people we love, who aren't on our path, who don't allow us true freedom of expression, who criticize us for making decisions that they don't understand. Seek a community of kindred spirits. It is next to impossible for transformation to take place unless we are in a community of fellow seekers. It's taken me many years from the first time I sat down with Dr. Ross in 1981 to discuss writing a children's book on death and dying, to writing the book, as Elizabeth suggested, for the child within us all. Publishing my book in 1994, This Is Not Goodbye, It's Hello, which Dr. Ross endorsed, was a labor of love and a tribute to the courage it took to overcome my fears around death and dying, which I had carried with me unconsciously since my mother's passing. We must face all of our deep secrets and have faith that to continue our personal growth journey, we must be open to explore and conquer anything that keeps us from advancing forward. Don't be afraid to change. Coaching people around transitions empowers me as a coach as much as it empowers those willing to share their stories with me. Sharing our challenges with someone else is another step in dealing with fear. When one receives empathy, understanding, love, compassion, and reassurance from someone else, fear or pain is already being relieved and is about to be weakened. Our inner strength comes from embracing our innate knowledge. We are all brilliant and can withstand more probing than we realize. Apart from what we have briefly discussed above, other constituents of mental power like faith, sometimes expressed by the Buddhists as confidence, and a concentrated state of mind and determination are some other factors that can defeat fear and pain. They have to be developed. You have to take the steps required. Once done, you are on your way. When you stand, God will stand with you. Fear is illusory. It cannot live. Courage is eternal. It will not die. Welcome to Transitional Empowerment. Thank you for spending time with me today. I welcome your feedback. I also want to thank Linda Knipe for helping me with this webinar, and Paul Hirsch, my web host at Real Time Support, for making all these technology issues for me easy, as I am not a very technical person. So please email me at victoria@victoriafeldman.com or visit my website, www.victoriafeldman.com. I would love to hear from you. God bless you all.